Hey Cancer, I need to have a real conversation with you today. I know this topic is heavy, and honestly, it is not easy for me to share this either. But I have been sitting with these cards for a while now, and the message they are giving me is too important to ignore. So grab your coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let us talk about something that might be difficult to hear, but absolutely necessary for your growth and healing. The cards want to reveal the truth about someone in your life and whether their feelings for you were ever really genuine. I am going to be honest with you throughout this reading because you deserve nothing less than the complete truth, even when it hurts. I shuffled the deck with your energy in mind, Cancer, and I asked the universe to show me the truth about this person's feelings, their intentions, and what you really need to understand about this connection. The cards that came through are incredibly revealing, and they paint a picture that I think deep down you might have already sensed, but perhaps were not ready to fully acknowledge. Before I get into the specific cards, I want you to know that whatever comes through in this reading is meant to help you move forward, not to keep you stuck in pain. The universe has a way of revealing what we need to see exactly when we are ready to see it. And if you are watching this right now, that means you are ready for this truth. The first card that came through for you is the Three of Pentacles. And this card is really fascinating in this context because it is telling me something specific about how this person viewed your relationship. The Three of Pentacles is traditionally about collaboration, teamwork, and building something together, right? But here is what I am picking up for you, Cancer. This person saw your connection more as a project than as a romance. They were treating your relationship like it was something they were working on, something they were constructing or managing, rather than something they were genuinely feeling and experiencing from the heart. This is such an important distinction because it shows me that from their perspective, being with you was more about achieving certain goals or maintaining a certain image rather than about authentic emotional connection. They might have been very good at playing the part, at showing up and doing the things that partners are supposed to do, but it was coming from their head and not from their heart. The Three of Pentacles shows teamwork, but when I look at this card in the context of your question about whether they truly loved you, I see someone who was collaborating with you on the surface level, but was never truly invested emotionally. They were going through the motions, checking boxes, making sure things looked right from the outside. But internally, they were approaching this relationship the way someone might approach a business partnership or a project at work. There was strategy involved, there was calculation, there was this sense of them playing a role, rather than being authentically vulnerable and open with you. This card is showing me that they valued what you could build together in practical terms. Maybe the life you could create, the status you could achieve together, or how good you looked as a couple to other people. But they were not valuing you as an individual or the sacred, intimate bond that real love requires. Moving to the next card, I pulled the Ace of Pentacles, and this is where things get even more revealing, Cancer. The Ace of Pentacles is about new beginnings in the material world, new opportunities for financial growth or material security. And this card is telling me exactly what they were actually interested in when it came to you. They saw you as an opportunity, not as a soulmate, not as their person, not as someone they wanted to build a life with out of genuine love and devotion, but as an opportunity to gain something material or practical in their life. This could mean so many different things depending on your specific situation. Maybe you provided financial stability or security that they needed. Maybe you had connections or resources that benefited them. Maybe being with you elevated their social status or gave them access to things they wanted. Maybe you were simply a stable, reliable presence who took care of things and made their life easier and more comfortable. The Ace of Pentacles is showing me that when they looked at you, they were seeing dollar signs or practical benefits. Rather than seeing a beautiful soul, they wanted to cherish and protect and love unconditionally. This is such a painful revelation, but it is so important for you to understand because it explains so much about how they treated you and why things never quite felt completely right, even in the good moments. You know that feeling you get, Cancer, when something seems perfect on paper, but your intuition is telling you something is off? That was your inner wisdom, picking up on the fact that their intentions were not pure, that they were with you for what you could provide, rather than for who you are as a person. The Ace of Pentacles in this position is basically confirming that this person had a transactional mindset when it came to your relationship. And true love is never transactional. It is freely given and received, without keeping score or calculating benefit. The Two of Wands came through next, and this card is giving me chills, because it is showing me something about their mindset throughout your entire relationship. The Two of Wands is about planning, looking ahead, considering options, and weighing different paths forward. But here's what breaks my heart for you, Cancer. This card is showing me that even while they were with you, they were always looking at other options. They were always keeping one foot out the door. They were always scanning the horizon for something better, something more exciting, something that might serve them more effectively than you could. The figure in the Two of Wands holds the world in his hand while looking out at the distant landscape, and this perfectly captures how this person was treating your relationship. You were the safe choice, the stable option, the known quantity, but they were constantly wondering if there was something more out there for them. They never fully committed to you emotionally because they were always holding back a part of themselves, always keeping their options open, always ready to pivot if something more appealing came along. This is why you might have felt like you could never fully relax in this relationship. Why you might have felt like you were always trying to prove yourself, or compete for their attention, or convince them that you were enough. The devastating truth is that it was never about you not being enough. It was about them being fundamentally unable or unwilling to truly choose you and commit to you with their whole heart. They kept you at arm's length emotionally while they continued to survey their options and plan their next moves, and that is absolutely not what real love looks like. Now we are getting into some really powerful energy. With the High Priestess and Cancer, this card is significant for you specifically, not for them. The High Priestess is about intuition, inner knowing, secrets, and hidden truths. And this card is telling me that on some level, you have known all along that something was not right. Your intuition has been trying to tell you the truth about this person and this situation, but you might have been suppressing it, or talking yourself out of it, or making excuses for them, because the truth was too painful to face. The High Priestess sits between two pillars, one black and one white, representing the duality of light and dark, known and unknown. And she is asking you to acknowledge what you know in your gut, even if your heart desperately wants to believe something different. I am picking up that there were so many red flags, so many moments where your inner voice was whispering warnings to you, so many times when things did not add up, or their words did not match their actions, or you felt that gnawing sense of unease in your stomach. The High Priestess is validating those feelings for you and telling you that your intuition was absolutely correct. Trust what you knew all along, Cancer. Trust those moments of clarity when you saw through their facade. Trust the part of you that recognized this person was not being genuine with you. The High Priestess also represents secrets and hidden information, which suggests that there are likely things about this person's true feelings or intentions, or even their actions, that were deliberately hidden from you. They were not being transparent or honest. They were keeping secrets. They were showing you only what they wanted you to see, while hiding their true self and their true motivations. The Magician appeared next, and this card is making so much sense in the context of everything else the cards are showing me. The Magician is the master of manifestation, the one who has all the tools at their disposal and knows exactly how to use them to create whatever outcome they desire. In a positive context, the Magician is about using your skills and resources to manifest your dreams, But in this reading, Cancer, the Magician is showing me that this person was using their skills and charm and manipulation to create an illusion. They were performing magic tricks, creating smoke and mirrors, making you see what they wanted you to see, rather than what was really there. The Magician has one hand pointing up and one pointing down, representing the phrase "as above, so below," which means manifesting spiritual intention into material reality. But this person was using that same energy in reverse. They were taking something empty and hollow and making it appear full and real. They were skilled at presenting themselves in a certain way, at saying the right things, at doing just enough to keep you believing in the relationship. But it was all a carefully crafted performance. They knew exactly what you needed to hear and see, and they gave you just enough of it to keep you invested, while never actually giving you their authentic self or their genuine love. The Magician is incredibly intelligent and resourceful, which tells me this person is probably quite charming and capable and good at reading people and knowing what they want, and they use those abilities to manipulate your emotions and your perception of the relationship. The Two of Pentacles came through, and this card is really reinforcing what I was picking up earlier about this person juggling multiple priorities and never fully committing to you. The Two of Pentacles shows a figure juggling two pentacles, constantly in motion, trying to balance competing demands and keep multiple things in the air at once. This person was juggling you alongside other interests, other people, other priorities, other options. You were never their sole focus. You were never the most important thing in their life. You were one of several balls they were keeping in the air. The Two of Pentacles also speaks to someone who is adaptable and flexible. But in this case, that flexibility meant they could easily shift their attention and energy away from you whenever something else seemed more pressing, or more interesting, or more beneficial to them. They were not grounded in your relationship. They were not stable or consistent in their feelings. They were constantly wavering and changing and redistributing their energy based on what served them best in any given moment. This card can also indicate financial juggling or trying to balance material resources, which again points back to this theme of them viewing you through a practical or material lens rather than an emotional or spiritual one. They were calculating costs and benefits, weighing pros and cons, managing their resources, and you were part of that calculation rather than being someone they loved unconditionally, regardless of what you could or could not provide for them. The Hermit is such an interesting card to come through here because it is giving me insight into where this person actually is emotionally and spiritually. The Hermit represents solitude, introspection, soul searching, and someone who is on a solitary journey of self-discovery. What this card is telling me, Cancer, is that this person is fundamentally someone who operates alone, who is focused primarily on themselves and their own journey, and who is not actually capable right now of the kind of partnership and intimacy that you were seeking. The Hermit carries a lantern to light their own path, and this person has been focused on lighting their own way forward without truly considering you as a partner, walking beside them. They were on their own journey, and you were more like someone they encountered along the path, rather than someone they chose to walk with for the long haul. The Hermit can indicate wisdom and spiritual growth when someone is genuinely doing the inner work, but it can also indicate someone who is isolated, emotionally unavailable, closed off, unable to truly let anyone in. This person has walls up. They are guarded. They are protecting themselves, and they never let those walls down enough for real intimacy and vulnerability with you. The Hermit energy suggests that even if they wanted to love you genuinely, they are not in a place where they are capable of it, because they are too focused inward, too isolated in their own world, too unavailable emotionally and spiritually to truly show up for another person in the way that love requires. Now, Cancer, the Ten of Cups appeared. And this card is absolutely fascinating in this reading, because the Ten of Cups is literally the card of emotional fulfillment, happy family, true love, lasting happiness, and everything working out perfectly in relationships. So why would this card appear in a reading about someone who did not truly love you? Here is what the universe is showing me. The Ten of Cups represents what this person promised you, what they showed you, what they made you believe was possible with them. They painted a picture of the Ten of Cups' future for you. They talked about the life you would build together, the happiness you would share, the family you might create, the beautiful partnership you could have. They held up this vision of the Ten of Cups, and they used it to keep you invested, to keep you hopeful, to keep you staying in the relationship and working toward this future that they were describing. But the heartbreaking truth is that they were showing you the Ten of Cups while never actually intending to deliver it. It was a carrot they were dangling in front of you to keep you moving forward with them, to keep you committed, to keep you giving them what they wanted from you. The Ten of Cups in this position is showing me the gap between what they promised and what they were actually capable of or willing to give you, and that gap is enormous. They knew exactly what you wanted. They knew you were someone who valued emotional connection and family and lasting love, because that is so core to who you are as a Cancer. And they used that knowledge to manipulate you by presenting themselves as someone who could give you those things when in reality they had no intention of following through. The Four of Cups is coming through with such important energy for you right now, Cancer. And this card is about apathy, disengagement, emotional numbness, and missing opportunities because you are too focused on what you do not have. I am seeing this card represent how this person actually felt in the relationship with you. While they were showing you one thing on the outside, internally they were feeling disconnected and disengaged. The Four of Cups shows someone sitting under a tree with 3 cups in front of them and a 4th cup being offered by a hand from the clouds. But the person is so caught up in their own dissatisfaction that they do not even notice the offering. This perfectly captures this person's state of mind and heart when it came to you. You are offering them genuine love, real devotion, authentic care, and nurturing. All the beautiful things that you as a Cancer bring to relationships, but they were so checked out emotionally, so numb, so focused on their own discontent or their own agenda that they could not or would not receive what you were genuinely offering them. They were emotionally unavailable. They were bored. They were restless. They were dissatisfied. But none of that had anything to do with you or anything you did or did not do. The Four of Cups shows someone who cannot appreciate what is right in front of them because they are stuck in their own emotional stagnation, and that was their issue to deal with, not yours to fix. This card is also showing me that toward the end of your connection, or even throughout it, they were increasingly disengaged and going through the motions without any real feeling or presence. The final card that came through is the Queen of Pentacles in Cancer. This card is actually about you, about who you are and what you brought to this relationship. The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing, grounded, practical, generous, someone who creates comfort and security and takes care of the people they love. She is abundant and self-sufficient, and she shares her abundance freely with others. This card is showing me that you showed up as the Queen of Pentacles in this relationship. You were the one nurturing this connection. You were the one creating stability and comfort. You were the one giving and caring and making sure their needs were met. You brought so much to the table, Cancer. You were the one actually building something real, actually investing emotionally, actually showing up with your whole heart. The Queen of Pentacles sits on her throne surrounded by abundance and nature, completely grounded and secure in herself, and this is showing me your true value and worth. You are someone of immense value. You have so much to offer. You are worthy of genuine love and appreciation, and someone who will cherish what you bring, rather than take it for granted or exploit it. The painful truth that this card is revealing, when I look at it in context with all the other cards, is that this person saw your Queen of Pentacles energy, and they saw it as something to use, rather than something to honor and cherish. They saw your nurturing nature, and they took advantage of it. They saw your generosity, and they exploited it. They saw your stability, and they used it for their own benefit, without ever intending to reciprocate or match your energy, or love you the way you deserve to be loved. So Cancer, here is the complete truth that these cards are revealing. This person never loved you in the genuine, deep, unconditional way that you loved them and that you deserve to be loved. They saw you as an opportunity, a resource, a practical benefit, something that served their goals and their needs. They were skilled at presenting an illusion, at showing you what you wanted to see, at promising you the happy ending you were hoping for. But it was all smoke and mirrors. They were always keeping their options open, always looking ahead to what else might be out there, never fully committing to you emotionally. They were juggling you alongside other priorities and other interests, and you were never truly their focus or their person. They were emotionally unavailable, disengaged, going through the motions without real feeling. And meanwhile, you were showing up authentically, nurturing the relationship, giving from your heart, being the Queen of Pentacles, and offering genuine love and care that they were too checked out, or too self-focused, or too calculating to truly receive or appreciate. I know this is painful to hear, Cancer, and I know it might be bringing up a lot of emotions right now, but I want you to understand something really important. This was never about you not being enough. You were more than enough. You brought real love, real devotion, real care to this connection. The problem was that this person was not capable of recognizing or receiving or reciprocating that because of their own limitations, their own agenda, their own emotional unavailability. You cannot make someone love you genuinely when they are approaching relationships from a place of calculation and strategy, rather than from a place of authentic feeling. You cannot force someone to see your value when they are looking at you through the lens of what you can do for them, rather than seeing who you truly are as a person. The gift in this painful truth is that now you know. Now you can stop wondering, stop questioning yourself, stop trying to figure out what you could have done differently. Now you can release this person and this situation and start directing all that beautiful, nurturing Queen of Pentacles energy back toward yourself. You deserve someone who is going to love you the way you love them. Someone who is going to show up fully present and emotionally available. Someone who sees you as their person and not as an opportunity or a project or an option. The universe removed this person from your life or revealed this truth to you because you are being protected and redirected towards something so much better. Trust that, Cancer. Trust that your intuition was right all along. Trust that you are worthy of real love. And trust that by releasing what was never truly yours, you are making space for something genuine and beautiful to enter your life. Take time to process this. Take time to grieve what you thought this relationship was. Take time to heal. But please do not let this experience make you doubt your worth or close your heart. You are the Queen of Pentacles, abundant and valuable and worthy of being cherished. The right person will see that and will love you genuinely for who you are, not for what you can provide. Until then, focus on yourself, rebuild your sense of self, reconnect with your intuition, and trust that the universe has something so much better in store for you, sending you so much love and healing energy, Cancer. You are going to be okay. You are going to be more than okay. This ending is actually a new beginning.